Hallelujah. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. Barak Yahuwah who is Yahusha. Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom, beloved family. All esteemed the King Yahuwah Yahusha. Welcome, welcome again to another Shabbat studies, Barak Yahuwah. This one is definitely a studies that's a bit overdue. Hallelujah. Should have gotten this done, but some things came up. But Barak Yahuwah this day, I'm getting the opportunity to do it. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. Hallelujah. And this one is really an important study. This one is really, really needed because, for too long, our people has been led astray and been deceived by the enemy. But Barak Yahuwah today will go over this question. What is Pharmakeia? What is Pharmakeia? I mean, for some of us, this is probably the first time we are hearing this word. Some of us, we already heard it. We know that, it ties into a word that we are very used to, popular with, sorcery. Because as you can see right here on the screen, we are at Zoom Revelation chapter 18, verse 23. And it reads, "And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in you, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in you. For your merchants were the great males of the earth, for by your sorceries were all nations deceived." Now, the very first time I hear this word Pharmakeia was from this exact verse, Revelation 18, verse 23. And a pastor wrote down the word sorcery as Pharmakeia in the Greek. But, after doing a little bit more research, because when I heard the name, it sounds all right, just like a regular word. When I looked at the word, I'm like, wait, this word looks familiar. I've seen this word before. Barak Yahuwah. So let me show you the word on the screen for those who don't know it. Sorcery, right? Barak Yahuwah. Now, the Greek word for sorcery, as I said, is Pharmakeia. This is how it's spelled. Let me zoom this up a bit. All right, there it is. That's how this is how it would look in the Greek. This is how it looks in the Greek. This is how it looks in English when you transliterate, this Greek. This is what you have. You have Pharmakeia, right? And it's pronounced Pharmakeia, right? Now it says it is the Greek word for sorcery, witchcraft. It's a great word for sorcery or witchcraft. It has been used 2 times. Sorcery or witchcraft in that passage or in that part. But there's another thing to the word Pharmakeia. No, as I said, it looked very familiar, right? Let's move over to pharmacy. Pharmacy, pharmaceuticals, like pharmaceutical drugs. Yes, that's what I'm getting into. And the word pharmacy, the etymology, we're on online etymology dictionary, right? The word pharmacy. Here you can see it in the late 14th century. This is how they spell it, and they changed it over the years because English is not as how we know it today. A lot of people think they know English, but you really don't know English. The English was called back in the day English. Why? Because it was from the Anglo-Saxons. You can go look them up. Trust me, if you should hear how the Anglo-Saxons speak the original tongue of English, it sounds like Latin. Sounds like spells. English as we know it today sounds easy, but trust me, back then it was not easy. Why? Because they have this English that we have today is a hybrid. It's a mixture of different languages coming together as one. That's why I believe it's the one word language, because it's easy for a lot of people to understand today. Back then it was really hard. I mean, if you don't believe me, go look it up for yourself and listen to how they speak it. So English back then was called English from the Anglo-Saxons, but today is English. Now, the Greek word for this is directly from the medieval Latin pharmacia, which is from the Greek pharmakeia, a healing or harmful medicine, a healing or poisonous herb, a drug poisonous potion, magic potion, dye, raw material for physical or chemical processing. Do you hear that? Poisonous drug or herb. No, when I found this out, when I found out what was the Greek word for sorcery, that it was Pharmakeia, then I saw the word. I'm like, wait, that looks exactly like the word pharmacy. Now, let me go and do a little research on this to see if this word really derived from it. Because what if it does? Are you telling me, Yahuwah, that when you said this, you're not just talking about regular sorcery, but you're talking about also even the medicines that we take? And I came and I did the etymology for this word, pharmacy or pharmaceuticals, and I found out pharmaceuticals are from the same word, pharmakeia. I was like, whoa, this is mind blowing. I didn't even look at it like that, because then it comes back to scripture. And I'm like, but wait, in scripture, the Most High gave us herbs, right? Then why is it today that we are taking pills? We should have been taking herbs. I mean, here in Jamaica, our ancestors, they loved herbs. They will drink their herbal teas, herbal remedies, and medicines and all that stuff. That's what, especially if you're from the country part of Jamaica, the countryside of Jamaica, most of our older folks, that was their medicine. Most did not know prescriptions or drugs. They knew herbs, herbs of the field. That's what I'm talking about, herbs of the field, like the soursop leaf, the fever grass, those kind of herbs. That's what they knew. That was their medicines. They didn't go to doctors that much. Some did, some who were under the majority of the influence of the world, and had the money to visit doctors. Some did, but the ones who did not, they didn't need to. And they were really healthy. They were healthy people back then. I mean, my dad, when he was alive, he never in his life, once can I ever remember in his life, has visited a doctor to do a checkup or whatever the case might be. The only time that he had been admitted or went to hospital was when he had an accident. That was the only time. He was a healthy individual, because that's how his parents grew him. They get up real early, they go out, they tie the cows, they tie the goats, bring the cows, the goats out to get grass, to get food. Whatever animal that is that they had, they would tend to every morning. Plus, they had to go and fetch water because they did not have pipes in some areas. So you had to go by a river or, some place or well to gather water, to bathe, to cook, whatever it is that you want to do. So they were fit because they were physically active, always on the move, always working every single day. Plus, every morning, parents would make us, these teas, like the fever grass, the different bush teas, the leaves, and we would eat a lot of fruits and a lot of more organic foods as well. Not these GMOs that we have today, these synthetic grown foods that we have that are being processed through labs. So our older folks, that's why they looked very healthy, and not just look, they were healthy even at the age of 70 years old, 80 years old. You got these old folks that are still active and strong because that's how they kept their body. They had a very well diet with the right medicines, the right proteins, the right nutrients, the right vitamins. And look at it today. Look at our society today. Look at this generation today. Weak, easily sick. Our immune systems are easily broken down today because we're not that active anymore. We're not eating the right stuff that our ancestors used to eat. We're not taking the right medicines, the true medicines that our ancestors took. We are into something else. So when I looked at the word and I found out the Greek, and I looked at the word today, pharmacy, and see that pharmacy is the same as pharmakeia. I'm like, wait, so are you saying, Yahuwah, the world, the nations have all been deceived by medicines today? And again, as I said, what did the Most High give us as medicines? He gave us herbs, not pills. Not these pills and potions and liquids and all this nonsense. So yes, we have been deceived because the enemy gave us this for cure, And the Most High gave us this for cure. So the enemy is given his so-called cure, which is not a cure. That's why it's called a deception. That's why the nations have been deceived. No, my next diving point was when I found out the word pharmacy was tied to the word, was the same word in the Greek Pharmakeia. It was a same, and I see the meaning. It's a poisonous magic potion. I'm like, wait, magic potion. I'm like, wait. Then I started to understand now why the medical symbols had a snake. Have you ever slowed down and wondered why is it that the medical symbols has either one snake on a rod, or some will have two snakes and a wing? As you can see on the screen, some of the snakes have, some of the rods, the medical symbols rather, has two snakes and on a rod with a wing, and then you got one that don't, even though originally it does not, like this one. This one is the more original one, the rod and the snake. But this one is more of a different one. I'll kind of give you an explanation into that, Rocky Four. So then I started to ask, I'm like, I always wonder this. Why though? If this is a form of healing, why would you choose one of the most venomous, poisonous animals on the earth, or creatures on the earth, a snake? You're telling me you couldn't choose any other animal? Is this some kind of coded message? Is this some kind of truth in plain sight? These were all the things that I was questioning. I was wondering why a snake on the medical symbol. And then looking up the word sorcery, looking up the word pharmakeia, then finding out the word pharmacy were all the same. Now I see why they chose a snake. Because they are literally telling you the truth in plain sight. They're not healing you. They are slowly poisoning you, just like a snake. If you get bit by a snake, do you die right away? No, you don't die right away. And there's an antidote. There's some kind of snake, antidote for the venom. But the snake venom, it doesn't kill you right away. It slowly kills you. Just like these pills that they have given us today. Have you ever seen their commercials when they're advertising? Every pill, every potion has side effects. That's why every commercial with these medicines, they will always tell you the benefit first. Always tell you the benefit, because that's what Hashatan focuses on. He tries to distract you with what you can gain, but not what you're losing at the same time to gain this. Oh, if you bow down to me, I'll give you all these things. Oh, you'll be healthy, you'll be 100% fit, you'll do this, you'll do that. Then they'll slowly explain the benefits. But when it comes down to the side effects, then they turn the song, the rhythm that's playing, they turn it up, and then they speed up the narrator. Side effects are take Advil. It will cure your health. Wait, what? What were the side effects? And then you got to go back and listen again. And then you're like, wait, side effects are this, side effects are that. That's still a risk. I'm taking a risk. Now, if this is healing, then why does it heal one part, but then it brings on other problems? And that's why we are so addicted to pills today, because it gives us this quick heal of, let's say you have a headache, right? You have a headache, you go take a pill, an Advil or something. It heals your migraine or your headache, let's say in 10 minutes or 5 minutes, but then it does something else. It causes another effect, it causes another problem. And then you got to go and get another prescription for that problem. Then that problem, once it's rid of, it causes another problem, because that's what side effects does. It always has these issues. Ashatan is always keeping us in his hospitals, in his cares, in his physician cares. For those who don't even know, did you know that doctors, all medical responders, doctors and all these people, they all took oaths. They call it that HYP, or some spell it HIPPO, critical oath, which they swear by demons, idols. Let me show you one of these demons right now. All right, so the rod that you saw with the snake, this one, this is who it belongs to. ASC Lamad Epius. No, for the symbol with two snakes that signifies swiftness, this one, no, that's the one with the two snakes and wings, and that one is the staff that is carried by Hermes in Greek mythology. He's another Greek mighty one. But this one is another Greek mighty one. So there are two of them. That's why you always see two symbols. You always see one with the snake and rod only, and then you got another symbol with both snakes on the rod with a wing. Two different mighty ones. Because remember, they love idols, they love demons. So in Greek mythology, the rod of Dash, sometimes also spelled Dash, also known as the staff of his name right here, and as the Dash, is a serpent entwined rod that's wielded by the Greek idol, the Greek demon, ASC Lamad Epius, a mighty one associated with healing. Don't say this word either. This word is derived from a demon's name. His name is Deus. All they did was change it to TY, trying to hide it. So don't say that word as well. Associated with so-called healing and medicines. In modern times, it is the predominant symbol for medicine and healthcare, although it is sometimes confused with the two snake rod and wings. So most of the days it's confused with this, but this is the original one, right? So this is who they serve. This is who they make their oaths to. These Greek demons. Demons, everyone. Demons. They have made oaths. They have sweared. They have sweared and made oaths unto these demons to protect your life. Do you really think that's what they're doing? I mean, yes, you might be cured of something, but trust me, there's a price to pay. There's a consequence. And the consequence is far more greater than the cure, the healing that you got. It's far more greater, but they don't show you, they don't tell you. That's why they don't play the side effects that much. That's why they don't start out and say, all right, we got this medicine that can cure of this and that. But there is a risk, a great risk to take. There's possibilities of getting major side effects from this medicine that might outweigh the benefits of this pill. They don't say it like that because they know people are not going to take it then. So Hashdan has to devise a way how to get you to take it without thinking about the side effects. And then by the time you start to think about the side effects, it's too late. You're already hooked. And now it's hard for you to pull away. Or the pill, the sorcery, has already done its work. It has already given you stage 4 cancer or heart failure or something. Some damage has already been done. So by the time you get to the point of realizing it's too late, sometimes it's too late. So when you look into it, this is why they have these snakes on rods and all this nonsense, because they are telling you who they pledge allegiance to. Even though some of these doctors don't care, some don't know. Some don't care, some know and don't care, and then you have some who don't know. So don't go ahead and blame all, these doctors, because really they're not physicians. I don't call them physicians. So let me show you who is really a physician, one of the first physicians of the earth, Barak Yahuwah. Let me show you a real physician, Rumamu Yahuwah. Let me show you why there was a need for herbs. Let me show you what caused that. Let's dive into the book of Jubilees. And let's go to chapter 10, Rumamu Yahuwah. As you can see, the name here is Noah. Now let's read a bit. We're going to read from verse 1 to 14. And let me show you the reason why there's a need. Now, Jubilees chapter 10, verse 1 says, in the 3rd week of this Jubilee, the unclean devils began to lead astray the children of the sons of Nu, and to make error and destroy them. And the sons of Nu came to Noah, their father, and they told him concerning the devils which were leading astray and blinding, and slaying his son's sons, leading astray and blinding, hiding their eyes from the truth, and slaying his son's son. And he prayed before Yahuwah Eloheinu, his Eloah, and said, Eloah of the Ruhut, the spirits of all flesh, who has shown mercy unto me, and has rescued, redeemed me and my sons from the waters of the flood, and has not caused me to perish as you did the sons of perdition. For your grace has been great towards me, and great has been your mercy to my soul. Let your grace be lifted up upon my sons, and let not these wicked Ruhud spirits rule over them, lest they should destroy them from the earth. Noah is praying to Yahuwah. And he says, let not these wicked spirits rule over them, lest they should destroy them from the earth. But do you, Barak, me and my sons, show favor unto us, respect unto us, that we might increase and might multiply and replenish the earth. And you know how your watchers, the fathers of these spirits, acted in my day. And as for these spirits which are living, imprison them and hold them fast in the place of condemnation, and let them not bring destruction on your sons of your servants, my Eloah. For these malignant, rather, and created in order to destroy, and let them not rule over the spirits of the living. For you alone can exercise dominion over them, and let them not have power over the sons of the righteous, from henceforth and forevermore. And Yahuwah bade us to bind all. And it says us, the messenger of the present is speaking to all the messengers that he has given this command to do so. And the chief of the spirits, Mastema, also with Hashatan, came and said, Yahuwah, creator, let some of them remain before me, and let them hearken, obey to my voice, listen to my voice, and do all that I shall say unto them. For if some of them are not left to me, I shall not be able to execute the power of my will on the sons of mankind. For these are for corruption and leading astray before my judgment. For great is the wickedness of the sons of mankind. And he said, Yahuwah, let the 10 part of them remain before him, and let 9 parts descend into the place of condemnation. And one of us he commanded that we should teach Noah all their medicines. For he knew that they would not walk in uprightness, nor strive in righteousness. And we did according to all his words, all the malignant evil ones we bound in the place of condemnation. And a 10 part of them we left, that they might be subjected before Shatan on the earth. Shatan, as you can see, is Mastema. It's just another name he goes by, or disguise, whatever. And we explained to Nu all the medicines of their diseases, together with their seductions, how he might heal them with herbs of the earth. And Nu wrote down all things in a book, in a sefer, as we instructed him, concerning every kind of medicine. Thus the evil spirits were precluded from hurting the sons of Nu. And he gave all that he had written to Sham, his eldest son, for he loved him exceedingly above all his sons. So right here in verse 10, listen to what Yahuwah says. For he knew that they would not walk in uprightness nor strive in righteousness. So he let the messengers taught Noah the medicines for their diseases. So these diseases that we have today are because of spirits, demons. They are because of demons. Demons are the ones attacking our immune systems, our body, our health. It's demons. So these pills, these doctors, even though, as I said, some don't know, they are under influence by who? The same demons attacking us. So why would demons tell you a way out to get rid of them? Demons would not do that. They would not tell you the key or give you the doorway to get free from their bondage. So these pills and potions, these pharmaceutical drugs, these medicines that they have today, they're not healing you. They're making you worse unknowingly. And it's such a shame today to even see those who say they love Yahuwah and trust Yahuwah still putting their trust and reliance on medicines, on doctors. When that's not the case, that's not how it should be. It's really sad. It's really unfortunate. I mean, we got to think bigger than this. We got to go deeper. We got to step away from the traditions, the customs of life, the way of life. We have gotten too comfortable and we don't want to research. I mean, some of us, we know, but we don't want to let it go because it works or because there's a certain situation going on. You have a child that has some kind of sickness and they made it seems as if the only way for the child to get better is if, let's say the child has cancer. The only way for the child to get better if you put them on chemotherapy. You are putting your trust and reliance in man and not Yahuwah. Who is the healer of all? Yahuwah Rapha. Yahuwah heals. So if you don't lift your faith to Yahuwah, your child will not be healed. And if your child gets healing through chemotherapy, then guess what? You have those doctors and the devil to thank for it, not Yahuwah. So Yahuwah does not get the esteem from that. Don't you see this? So it's really sad, and it's really sad to see that we got persons in this truth, in this walk, who say they trust in Yahuwah 100%, but yet still rely on medicines, still rely on Pharmakeia, still rely on pharmaceuticals. It's really sad. Because if you trust and rely on Yahuwah, then you're going to lift your faith, your amunah, and allow Yahuwah to heal you. The same way he did when he walked the earth. He looked at all those who were sick and he healed them of their sickness. Because they had faith, they believed, and they trust in Yahuwah. They had faith, they believed, and trust that Yahuwah could heal them. And he did. Barak Yahuwah. He did, Mashbaka. Barak Yahuwah. It's the same way we got to trust him today. Barak Yahuwah. It's the same way we got to trust him and rely on him today, Mashbaka. Now, let's dive into Luke. Now that we understand sickness, now that we understand these diseases that are going around, now let me give you the solution for these diseases that Yahuwah has given us and we didn't even know. This is why Yahuwah says line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. Trust me, I've been there. I've been in situations that I've been sick. So a person might be saying, well, you don't understand, Azaria. Have you ever been in a situation that you have been critically sick? Yes, I've been critically sick. I've came under attack by a demon, by a so-called virus that was going around at the time, that they gave it this name called Chick V, that they claimed to say was given by mosquitoes. So if you get a mosquito bite at that time, you would have gotten this disease. But here's the tricky part. Now, if these diseases are from mosquitoes, like the one they call dengue, then why is it that when several mosquitoes bite you after you got the sickness, why is it that you don't get sick again? So I've come under critical sickness near to the point of death. Very long time ago, early in my walk. And I trusted on Yahuwah. And let me share something with you that Hashatan did. Because Hashatan was trying to take my life. And I'm going to share with you what he did. Now, during this point of sickness, it was during I think it was the chickpea at the time or the dengue at the time. One of these sickness. It was really wicked at the time. Now, it comes with fever, joint pains, headaches, um, diarrhea, and even vomiting, and also coughing up of blood as well, bleeding. That's right, it comes with it. And there are persons who have died from the sickness. Like within the same week of contracting it, the same week some died, the other week some died. It's really, really awful. Like it puts you like in a bedridden position. You hardly can walk. It was awful. But anyways, I went through all those stages, all those signs, all those things like the vomiting, the diarrhea, the fever, all those except bleeding. They said that's the final stage. If you reach a point of bleeding, that's it. You're done for. No one has ever reached that phase and come out of it. Even though someone has not reached that phase and still died from it. So that was the only thing that I didn't contract it or didn't show signs of bleeding. So here I was in bed, weak, bedridden, could hardly get out of bed. Like barely, barely, barely. At some points I could not move. And I was lying in bed one day, YAHUAH. And as I was lying in bed, I don't know if I fell asleep at the time, if it was, or if I went into a trance, because all I know is I immediately, got up. Well, not immediately got up, but, got out of it. So as I was lying in bed, Hashatan, he came, he attacked me, but I didn't know it was an attack. I saw myself in a hospital bed, and I was basically dying. I was dying, rather. I was dying. And I had, different persons, loved ones, coming to visit me. And they were sad and all that stuff, trying to comfort me and all this stuff. And, Maya Shah, she was, really saddened at the time. And she didn't really want to feast me and all that stuff. And as I was, getting the comforts on everyone, I told, someone to go get Maya Shah because, I'm going to pass. That was what was the vision. That was what was going on in the vision, right? This is not me saying it. That was just the vision. I don't want you to get misunderstood. That was what was playing out in my head in the vision and or under the trance that I was under. So as the person was bringing my Shah into the room, at one point I was leading on to believing it, like this was it. I was like, whoa, really, Yahuwah? Like this can't be the case. This can't be so. Even though if it is, then so be it. No worries. But if it's not, but I was at the point of almost believing. Then here comes YAHUAH. YAHUAH came in, stepped in, and he rebuked the vision, the dream, trance, whatever it was. And he rebuked Hashatan. And he said to me, get on up and praise me, Barak YAHUAH. That's all he said. Get on up and praise me and continue to trust me. Because I trust him. That's why I didn't, when, everyone was encouraging me to go to a doctor, to go to the hospital. And I was like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to no doctors. I'm not going to no hospitals. I'm not taking any pills, any potions, any medicines. I'm not taking it. I'd rather die. And if I'm dying, then so be it. So YAHUAH rebuked the dream and says, no, that's not me. It's not your time yet. Get on up. Continue to trust me. It's not your time. And I did trust him. And I got up out of the vision trance, whatever it was, and I started to praise YAHUAH. Started to Barak YAHUAH, Barak his name, praise him. And I put on some worship songs at a time and esteem YAHUAH. And this took place on the 5th day of me being sick. Now, here's the beautiful part of YAHUAH. Day 7, everyone, I was healed of that sickness. This was the ending of day 5 going into day 6 that this took place. And by the next day, everyone, I was healed. I was sick for 6 days and healed the 7th. Ruma Mu YAHUAH. So I understand and know what it feels like to be on the verge of death. So you might be saying, I don't know, I don't have any experience or whatever not. I know from first-hand experience. And I trust the YAHUAH. It doesn't matter. what we are on. It doesn't matter what is happening in our life. We need to trust Yahuwah, even if that means we have to die for him. That's what we're here for. We're to walk as he walked, and we're to die as he died. Even Paul says this. Paul says in Galatians 2:20, he says what? I am crucified with Mashiach. Nevertheless, I live. Yet not I, but Mashiach that lives in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the belief of the living Allah, which loved me and gave himself for me. So if you are not ready to die for this truth, to die for Yahuwah, then you are not ready. And you need to get ready. Because you don't know when that time will be. So I know what it's like. And this is what Yah gave me. Luke 10 at the time. Luke 10:19. And you all should know where I'm getting at, right? Ruma Mu Yahuwah. Now listen to this. Luke 10:19. I don't know why it's not highlighted. Probably because I had to download it again. Luke 10:19 says, Behold, I give unto you power. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions. Not only serpents and scorpions, but what? And over all the power of the enemy. And nothing shall by any means hurt you. What was news prior? That Yahuwah should protect his servants and his servants' sons from the enemy. And what did Yahuwah do? He gave us power over them so that they could not do what? Hurt us or destroy us from the face of the earth. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. Now do you see why with some sickness, Yahuwah healed that way? Let me show you one of these sickness. Let me show you some of these sickness that he healed that way. Now listen to, this is Matthew 8. Let's go down a bit to verse 16. No, it says that when the evening was come, they brought unto him a lot that were possessed with devils. And he cast out the spirits with his word and healed all that were sick or ill. In the KJV, it will say ill, sickness. Now do you understand why he does these things? Why sometimes you read the scriptures and you see a blind person or a deaf person, a lame person, Yahuwah would rebuke the demon in that person. Then after rebuking the demon, casting out the devil in that person, the person is no longer lame or deaf or blind because it's a demon behind these things. Cerebral palsy and epileptic sickness or whatever they want to call them. Those are demons behind it. That's why they act that way. That's why they look cringed up, because it's a demon controlling a part of their body, their minds, to get their bodies to operate that way. And that's why Yahusha would heal them with his power. That's why these doctors can fix them and tell you what's wrong with them, because the devils won't tell them. The devils won't reveal to them their secrets. So these medicines that we take today are not for our benefits. They are to destroy us from the face of the earth. And Yahuwah knew it. That's why he told Noah, that's why he told the messengers to teach Noah all about their diseases and all the cure for their diseases, using what? Herbs of the field, not these synthetic lab herbs, because they claim to say these are from herbs, but they're really not. Some are from herbs, some are from poisonous herbs. Some are from herbs, some are from some poisonous plants. But these things are synthetic, they are lab grown, and you're putting your trust in a person who has devoted their career on the devil, who has made a covenant with death. That's what we're doing today. Go look up the oath for yourself and see if I'm lying to you. Go look it up. Yahuwah has given us power, but yet we choose to not use that power. Some of us, we don't even truly know the power, because we don't even know that Yahusha is Yahuwah. So we don't have full access to his power because we don't know who he really is. We have no relationship with him. We have been given power, but instead of using that power, we allow the enemy to push fear on us. And then we give in to his ways. Go to doctors, go to hospitals. Now we're stuck on these pills, on these potions. Ever since I've been in the truth, I've been in the truth for 3 years now, going 4. 3+ years, going 4. And since I've been in the truth 3+ years, going 4, I've never again taken a medicines. Ever since I came to knowing his name, and this was before coming into religion, I've known his name for, let's see, I spent 2 years in religion, well, a year and a half in religion, and then 3 years in the truth. So I've known his name for over 4 years, going 5. And ever since fully stepping into this walk, this truth, I've never used Pharmakeia ever again. I've trusted the Most High then, and I'm going to trust him now. And this goes to show that Yahuwah really confirms his word. Revelation 12, he says that we overcome the enemy by the blood of the Lamb and by the words of our testimonies. Look at Job. That's what gave me faith to continue to endure. I said I wanted to be like Job. And if it's Yah's will for me to live, I will live. If it's not Yahuwah's will for me to live, I will not live. And that's what kept me through that sickness. Job testimony of how he was sick. And he did not blame Yahuwah. He did not give up. Even when his Asha, his wife, wanted him to barak Yahuwah and die. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go on to watch one of Yahuwah. As a matter of fact, I'll drop the link to that description. I'll drop the link to that video in the description so you can watch it, where Watchman Yeshai really explain and break down what Job's wife was saying. Was she saying curse Yahuwah and die, or was she saying barak Yahuwah and die? That's what gave me courage, the testimony of Job. Not only that, but I saw the faith, the determination of Stephen. Even at the point of death, he did not give in. He continued to trust Yahuwah. All these persons in scriptures, I saw how they trust Yahuwah up unto the verge of death. So why shouldn't I? If I say I truly love Yahuwah and I truly trust him, then I should do the same. We should all do the same. If we say we love Yahuwah with all our hearts, with all our might, with all our soul, and we trust him more than anything in the world, we put him first, then we need to prove it by our actions. Let me show you something. Barak Yahuwah. Let me go to another place. This is when Yahusha sent out the 12 apostles. And he sent them out to do what? To preach and to teach. And also to do what? Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Heal the sick, cast out devils, cleanse the lepers. That's what we're commanded to do. Let me show you something real quick. Rumamu Yahuwah. This is Dabarim, Deuteronomy 8. Now, this is after when Yahusha brought us out of Mitzrayim. And he brought us, listen to what verse 1 says. Deuteronomy 8 or Dabarim 8. All the commands which I command you this day shall you guard to do, that you might live and multiply and go in and possess the land which Yahuwah swore to your fathers. You shall remember all the way which Yahuwah Alaika led you these 40 years in the wilderness to do what? To humble you and to prove you, to know what was in your heart, whether you would guard his commands or not. Some of these things are tests, and some persons have failed that test. Yahuwah has allowed Master Mahashatan the same way he allowed him with Job to go and prove you, to test you if you truly love Yahuwah or not, and to hit you with afflictions. And some have already failed that test, because as soon as you got that affliction, that test, you ran to the doctors, you ran to a hospital. Boom, you're in the hospital for 7 days on these machines and these so-called drips. We don't even know what's in the drip. It's so clear. It looks like water, but we know it's not water. They tell you it's a drip, it's something that's going to assist you. And they give you these pills and these medicines to swallow, and they inject you with these needles and put these things into your body, which you don't even know what they're doing because you can't trust what they're saying. How can you trust the words of the devil? The devil is a liar and the father of it, so you cannot trust what the devil is saying. So he might be saying, oh, this is to assist you, this is for your benefit, but we know that's a lie. So some of you have failed that test, and because you have failed that test, no, there are problems in your life, situations in your life, and you're wondering what's going on. Oh, this gotta be Hashatan attacking me. No, it's your disobedience. It's your disobedience because you keep on failing the test that Yahuwah is provided. It's really sad. I don't understand why Yasharal today, Jacob today still relies and trusts on doctors, medicines, pills. I stopped trusting them from the day I found out about his name. And that was in religion when I was sick. When that happened, that was in religion, everyone. That's not when I was in the truth. That was when I was in religion. Upon the year, the leaving religion, that time period of leaving religion, that was late 2019, going into probably early 2020, somewhere there about. Either late 2019 or early out in 2020. But I believe it was really in the late 2019. That was all the way from that time. And I could have trusted Yahuwah. And Yahuwah came through. He made a way. He healed me. And now that I'm fully in the truth, I even trust him even more. I trust him a lot more than back then because now I'm fully keeping his commands. I'm guarding the Shabbat, keeping his feast days, guarding who he truly is. Yahuwah is Yahusha. I was in religion and he spared my life. I was in religion and he healed me because of what? My faith. And I knew who he was. I knew his name. I know that I'm in the truth and I walk in this walk. We don't think we're going to come under attacks. We don't think we'll be tested. There it is for yourself. Deuteronomy 8, verse 2. You'll be tested by Yahuwah. You'll be proven. You'll be provoked by Hashatan. Because Hashatan is trying to get us to quit, trying to get us to give up. Go read Revelation 12:8. He's after us. But we overcome him by the blood of the Lamb and by the words of our testimony. Yahuwah says, if it were possible, even the very elect would be deceived. If it was possible. If to show you how great his deception really is. It's very cunning. It's very deceptive. It's not easy to figure out. You cannot figure out his deception on your own. You need his rule. That's why he says he's going to pour out his rule in the last days upon all flesh so that no one has any excuse. The apostles' actions were example for us. And our ancestors before them, example for us of how we should walk. Not just talk. A lot of people talk the talk, say they are Yasharal, they love Yahuwah, follower, servant of Yahuwah. But their walk, their actions doesn't support it. Yahuwah is like, all right, let me see. Boom, here's a test. Boom, you feel the test. And keep on feeling the test over and over without any consideration. Why? Because you're too comfortable in the lifestyle that you know, in the traditions that you know. So you try to find scriptures to back these traditions. You try to find ways to say, oh, this is this and this is not. What is Pharmakeia? Pharmakeia is sorcery, is witchcraft. Pharmacy is witchcraft. Governed by the father of all lies. So for those who still rely on And this is a wake-up call to you. This is also whether you want to accept it, Barak Yahuwah, we give all praise, all esteem to Yahuwah for it. If you don't want to accept this, if you still want to do so, then this is a warning for you. So whether it be a wake-up call to those who did this, who didn't lift their faith enough, that's why Yahuwah says he has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. The enemy is trying to push fear on us. Don't give in to that fear. Wake up, get on up, lift your faith onto Yahuwah. And for those who still want to rebel, still want to do your own thing, your own way, then you were warned. You were warned. You want to continue to put your trust in pharmaceuticals, Pharmakeia, the devil, these doctors who made oaths to the devil? Because these demons, these idols that they're making oaths to, they're devils. They're under Hashatan's control. We just saw that in Jubilees, the book of Jubilees, chapter 10. We saw that. They're under his control. So if you put your trust in doctors, you're putting your trust in the devil. Because these doctors have made oaths. They have vowed oaths unto the devil. So at the end of the day, whom will you choose to serve? Whom will you choose to believe and follow? Are you going to be for Yahuwah, or are you going to be for the enemy? Because you cannot serve two masters at the same time. That's what Yahuwah word says. Cannot serve two masters at the same time. Barak Yahuwah. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. Thank you, Abba. Thank you, Abba. Thank you, Abba. Barak Yahuwah. Thank you, Abba. Barak Yahuwah. Let me see if I can find one of the oaths to show you guys real quick before I head out, so you can see for yourselves. Here, I got it on the screen. All right, Greek medicine. Listen to how the message started out. Listen to the oath starts out. This is the Greek medicine, and this is who they swear by. The HIPPO oath, right? This is the message. They swear by APO, Lamad O, the physician, and ASC, Lamad EPIUS, and this one and that one, and all the mighty ones and all the demons and demonesses as their witnesses, that according to their ability and judgment, they will keep this oath and this contract to hold him who taught them this art equally dear to themselves as their parents, to be a partner in life with him. I'll share a link to this so you can go and read it for yourselves. Go read it. I'll share a link. I'll drop the link in the description. I'll make sure of that, so you can go read this for yourselves. So who will you trust at the end of the day? Doctors, physicians, man, which is still man at the end of the day. Doesn't matter what qualifications they have, it's not a man. Or are you going to trust Yahuwah? Are you going to ask Yahuwah to heal you? I understand that some sickness, disease will require a physical type of healing like herbs. But again, as I said, they are herbs. Yahuwah will lead you to the right herb that you need. And if he knows you're not in possession of the herb, then he will heal you through his power, through your faith, your trust in him. But if the herb is in the possession of reach to you, then he will allow it to reach to you, or he will allow you to reach it. But you got to trust him. You got to show that you trust him. Don't drop your guard. Don't give in. Don't let fear conquer your life. It doesn't matter who's on the dying bed. It could be your husband. It could be your wife. It could be your son, your child, your daughter. Trust Yahuwah. And if it's Yah's will for that child to die, or that husband, that wife to die, then that person will die, and there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. Yahuwah has allowed that person to die for a reason. Well, not die, but to be put to sleep once they're in Yahuwah. To be put to sleep. They're in a safe place. They're in the bosom of Abraham. So you don't need to worry. You need to make sure you be there when it's your time. You continue to guard and keep the commands of Yahuwah. Cannot serve two masters at the same time. You cannot serve Yahuwah and then at the same time you're serving mighty ones. When you need money or you need things, you go to Yahuwah. But when you need healing, you go to Hashatan. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Yahuwah gives all things. He's a healer. He's a provider. He's a deliverer. He does it all. Hashatan does not. So again, you cannot say you love Yahuwah and you follow Yahuwah, but at the same time following the devil. It doesn't work. Yahuwah says it. You cannot serve two masters. You will love one, despise the other. You will be devoted to one and neglect the other. You can't. You can't serve both of them. You're gonna do it behind someone's back, either the devil's back or Yahuwah's back. If the devil is your master and you turn to Yahuwah, you're going behind his back. You're breaking the trust, the relationship, the bond that you have with him. Praise Yah for that. Now, if you are for Yahuwah and you go behind his back to go to the devil, you are breaking the trust, the bond, the relationship that you have with Yahuwah. Barak Yahuwah. So the link to this oath will be in the description. Barak Yahuwah. And it's not just doctors that take these kind of oaths. Lawyers take oaths as well. Most of these people, they take oaths. These government officials, they all are under oath. That's why when you go to a courtroom, they have your oath. I got to remind you that you're still under oath. They all are under oaths and contracts bound by the devil. So the link to this will be in the description. The link to Yeshai's video will be in the description. Also, the one regarding, Job. That was really, really a beautiful study, a really beautiful study, really beautiful revelation that Yahuwah gave him. So you definitely need to check that one out if you haven't. And even if you have, watch it again, because probably there's something that you miss, because it's really beautiful and it can encourage you. You might be going through something right now when you watch it and then something jumps out to you at the moment and it assists you at that time for whatever it is that you need. Ruma Mo Yahuwah. So all esteem unto Abba Yahuwah. This is long overdue, but finally it's out now for Yah's people so that they can pull away from this deception if they choose to, if you choose to. If you don't, that choice is yours. No one is forcing you to. Yahuwah is just giving you his best instructions for you to follow, to be loved, to be preserved. If you choose not to follow it, then that's your choice. But you will face the consequences for not listening, for not obeying, for not following. Choice is yours, though. Choose the right path or choose the wrong path. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. All esteem to Abba Yahuwah. Tuda again to everyone that has supported, this ministry. We really, really, really appreciate it. It's been a fight. It's been a challenge. The enemy doesn't like these, messages coming out, this truth coming out, because he doesn't want his devices to be exposed. And Yahuwah says we should not be ignorant to his devices. We should be wise as serpent and harmless as dove. So videos like these, the enemy will try to, keep it under the wraps. I might even get a fight for this video from YouTube right now, but so be it. I don't care. Yahuwah's message word must go out. If I gotta die because I speak the truth, then I'll continue to speak the truth. So kill me. I go to jail, so be it. I'm gonna always stand for Yahuwah. I'm gonna always stand for the truth. And I'm gonna always try my best to do right by Yahuwah. We know we're not perfect. We make mistakes, but we must strive to be perfect. We must not sit in our mistakes and be like, oh, we're not perfect, so I'm just gonna sit here and not try to change. This is just who I am. So Yahuwah has to accept me. So it's like you want Yahuwah to change instead of you changing. I'm going to always try to do my best. And I'm going to always look out for my brothers and sisters. Those who want the assistance, that is. If you don't want it, I'm not going to force it on you. So those who want their systems, I'm going to always look out for you. And everyone here is going to do the same. We're going to provide these truths, these message, and nothing or no one can ever threaten us or get us to not do it. I mean, they can threaten us, but we won't listen. The same way the apostles were threatened in the book of Acts, and they did not listen, they did not obey, they did not fear the threats. They asked Yahuwah for more boldness and they got it. It's the same thing with us today. We'll ask Yahuwah for more boldness and he will give it unto us. So Tuda again, greatly appreciate you all esteem to Abba Yahuwah. With that said, I ask Yahuwah even now to continue to show favor unto you all in your going out and your coming in, favor in your health, favor in your physical being, favor in your spiritual being, favor in your emotional being, so that your emotions can not overrun you. Ruma Mo Yahuwah. And we thank Yahuwah even now that he has given us his manaham, his comforter, his Ruach Hadash, that when our emotions do try to conquer us, our flesh try to conquer us, the Ruach Hadash is there to subdue it. Ruma Mo Yahuwah. So even though Yahuwah, guard us as we continue to walk in this walk with you and this path with you. We need you, Yahuwah. And we trust you, Yahuwah, and you only. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. All esteemed Abba Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah, who is Yahusha. Shabbat Shalom to you again, beloved ones. Enjoy the rest of your Shabbat or your day. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. Much ahab, everyone. Barak Yahuwah.